and Gianfranco, lovely to see you. Looking forward to coming to the Park Lane Hotel and bellying up with you there at the Four Seasons. So, yeah, I can't wait. Really looking forward to it. So, just going to talk a little bit about the details, okay? Cocktails are like suits that hang on a rack in the department store. You know, they're all pretty much the same. When you get to craft cocktails, it's like having a tailor-made or a bespoke suit. Every single detail that goes into that cocktail should be considered. So what I do is I focus on the garnishes, the olives, the cherries, the onions. We're like the cufflinks or the pocket handkerchief. So if you find pleasure in those little details, you're going to get what we do. So I am not a trained bartender. I went on this journey with my brother and spent 2 years looking at hundreds of varieties of olives, really to find the perfect garnish for cocktails. So obviously we're into after dinner, but I'm going to show you a couple of things and then obviously leave it to the expert Gianfranco to make you a beautiful after dinner cocktail. But I'm going to focus a little bit on a couple of things, right? First of all, tomorrow morning, I hope after a long night tonight, listening to Estelle Rubio next, you're going to wake up with a little bit of a headache. And so you're probably going to want to have a Bloody Mary just to take the edge off. So a couple of things just to show you really, really quickly. Classic Bloody Mary. I like to use a little bit of a lemon wedge like that. I slice it down the middle and I put it on the rim of the glass. Why? Because that way it gives me the perfect way of sliding it all the way around the glass to create a beautiful little edge. Then I would normally roll it in some salt just to give it a little bit of flavor. Actually, you know what? If you don't mind, I'm going to show you guys a video. I'm going to show you something. Hold on one second. Let me play this while I'm doing this.
This is your olive. It's awful. It's been cured with nasty chemicals to save time and money. This is your cherry. It's been plucked off some poor bastard's ice cream sundae. This is your olive rind, rotting in a rancid jar of olives. We are here to change that. We are filthy. The detail your cocktail deserves.
Okay, so there are 3 different types of Bloody Marys. The first one is a classic Bloody Mary, 1921, Paris, France. Fernand Petois, he claimed that he started the first ever Bloody Mary. Normally that's made with vodka. There's 2 other riffs on that. There is the red snapper. So instead of using vodka, you want to use gin. Just adds a little bit more of a layer of flavor to it, a little bit brighter, a little fresher. I'm here in Miami. We drink a lot of tequila. So there's something called the Bloody Maria. So you can measure it by doing 2 ounces of tequila. But you know what? If you don't have a way of measuring it, don't worry about it. A couple of fingers like that basically should be about 2 ounces. So I start with 2 ounces of premium tequila. I add my ice in afterwards. Okay. And then I start to stir it just to keep it nice and cold. So I'm going to use a bar spoon here just to chill down the tequila. Add a little bit more ice. So a few years ago, we started making garnishes. As I said, my brother and I spent a couple of years looking at hundreds of varieties of olives and cherries. I'm going to show you also a beautiful onion today from Calabria. But I'm going to then add 4 ounces of Filthy Bloody Mary mix. Now, normally you could roll this, which is basically transferring the liquid from one vessel to another. I'm just going to stir it, not get overly crazy. And I am going to add always, I like a bit of celery. I like the way that that looks. And it helps me stir my drink. There you go. And normally I would add something like a little filthy pickle, which is a crunchy little gherkin. Yes, I know, it's lovely. We basically put little pickles on one side of a table, and then we put fleshy olives on the other, and we just turn out the lights and put Barry White music on. And basically then we catch them and get them in the jars. But because I'm using tequila, I am going to use the filthy pepper, which is a Moroccan piri-piri pepper. And I just put that on top. Now, it's beautiful, really simple to make. I also like to use metal straws. You know, there's real consciousness right now about people throwing away a lot of plastic. You can buy beautiful metal straws. It goes straight into the drink like this. It enables you to drink it without getting your face in all of the garnishes. So that's the first drink I'm going to make. A little bit of a riff on the Bloody Mary. I used 2 ounces or 60 ml of tequila. I used about 4 ounces of fresh Bloody Mary mix. And you don't want to fuck the drink up by just using some shit garnishes on top. So use something beautiful. Give yourself what you think you deserve. At the end of the day, what separates us is the details. So I would certainly go the extra mile, take care of the details, give yourself a better experience. That's basically it. That's it for the Bloody Mary. Again, tomorrow morning, perfect hangover cure. So I'm going to hand over to my friend Gianfranco in London.
Amazing, Daniel. Thank you so much.
Thank
Go,
you.
Gianfranco.
So, you want me to speak Italian or English?
Go with English.
English. So,
I know
okay.
my friends will really want to know about the cocktail. So go.
Okay. So, I'm gonna make this cocktail, which is evolution of the previous cocktail, which is called Red Sweet Love. Basically, I made this drink like 7 years ago in London. It was my first competition in London. It was about making Mediterranean flavor. So come up in my mind straight to make something that was related to my land, to Calabria, where I'm coming from. So the idea is to make like a twist of the dirty martini. Instead of use the olive brine, to use something like onions. So how to make the onions ready to be drink, you know. I made a shrub, okay? So which is a long preparation. Takes a little bit of time to make it. And to build all this drink, which is based on a Mediterranean gin, which was made by olives, basil, thyme, and rosemary. I would say, okay, it's missing just the onions, and then it was the idea also to make all together to make a drink. So the shrub, it takes a little bit of time to make it. So you need to take a nice onions, propea, cipolla, red onions, sweet, which is, we know everyone. Yep. So you peel it, you put in the water, you soak in the water for at least 6-7 hours. And then, you juice it. If you have like, how do you call it in English, to make the juice? Extractor. If you don't have, you can blend it, And then you have to strain, and you have to cook slowly to reduce with some sugar and vinegar. So to make this beautiful shrub. I don't know if you can see the color, it's quite pink.
Yeah. Amazing.
So this is the shrub. So basically, and garnish with some onions, dried on the oven with some balsamic vinegar. Okay, this was the first version, kind of pre-dinner, drink. But tonight, because it's already late after dinner, I want to make something more ready for the night, ready for the DJ after. Okay, so I'm gonna make a red sweet love after dinner, using again the shrub. Okay, so I got my mixing glass chilled already. You remove the water, and also the glass is already chilled.
To follow you.
Yeah. So first of all, the glass always be chilled. Even if you make drink at home, it's very important temperature of the drink. So let's wait for Paolo then. So the idea behind the cocktail is to make something around the onions. I want to make the onions the main ingredient of my drink, the protagonist of this movie. Okay, so
Safer. Yeah. Okay.
Ready?
Yeah. Let's get in the ice. Okay, ready to go.
So I will explain the ingredient in the meantime. So instead of gin this time, I want to use something which is the after dinner drink in Italy, which is the grappa. Okay, I use something that I had at home. This is a very famous grappa. I mean, very famous company. I'm sure you know, guys, already. It's a white grappa. Obviously, it could be like with pepperoncino, with some chili inside. It can be, infused with something, but I don't want to cover the onions flavor. I want to still stick on the onions taste. Ci sei, Paolo?
Sì, vai.
So, we're going to start with grappa, made in Calabria. It's going to be 50 mils, large measure, okay? So, the second ingredient, it will be something, again, from Calabria, which is a porcino liqueur. I don't know, guys, if you...
Yes, I got it.
You can see this one. So, porcino is a very famous product from the Sila, from our mountains. So, made in the liqueur, probably this is really unique. It has very elegant flavor. Super tasty, super smelling. 10 mils, just a touch to enhance the flavor. That umami taste, And then is the time of our shrub. So it will be 10 mils, but it could be a little bit generous, maybe a little bit more. Again,
it's not quite as pink as yours, but
show me.
I'm just about to. Where are we?
Which kind of vinegar you use? Because if you use the red wine vinegar, it's going to be more like violet color. Purple.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Yeah,
it's a little bit violet-y color.
Yeah.
How much?
Unfortunately, I couldn't get that color because I had white wine vinegar. But also, it depends also the onions, if they are fresh or then the color tends to go, when you cook. Anyway, so now it's time to serve.
Porcino liqueur, how much?
Ce l'hai?
Yes.
Sei un grande. So, porcino liqueur will be 10 mils.
10 mils.
So if you come to my bar in London, you will see all these liqueurs. Porcino, licorice, and clementine, bergamot, pepperoncino as well. So I'm waiting for you guys. Yeah?
I got all of them. Then.
So grappa,
porcino,
and the shrub, yeah?
Yeah.
So how much of the shrub?
50 mils. 50 mils. Let's make it like really strong on onions.
50 mils, okay. And what about grappa? How much?
50. So 50 mils, 1.5 of the shrub, 50 mils of the grappa.
Okay, 50 of this, go.
50.
Yeah.
15 di shrub e 50 di grappa.
Okay.
Cool.
So guys, for the cocktail, it's pretty much when you cook, it's about your taste. I mean, if you like it stronger in grappa, if you like stronger in porcino, it's up to you, I give you an idea of the drink, then it's really personal. So you remove the ice from the glass, time to pour it. So I don't have that fancy garnish, unfortunately, like so filthy garnish, unfortunately. But what I made on my preparation of the shrub with the leftover from the onions, I took all the skin, all the peel, I toasted on the oven, and I infused in the oil. So basically, I made this oil infused with the burned onion skins. And I'm going to use as a garnish, which is more than garnish. It's like the fourth ingredient. Just a few drops. You can use a normal olive oil if you want, Paolo. Regular olive oil. So then it's going to float on the top. Let's see if I can show to you.
Daniel.
Can you see it?
Beautiful.
Amazing. Wow, that's great.
It's just olive oil.
Just a normal olive oil that drops like that and it stays like that. Oh, Gianfranco, we've lost your sound.
Aish, can you see me?
Yes, I can see you, Daniel, but I can't hear Gianfranco.
You know,
Yes.
normally
Okay, good.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So, salute to Tropea Cipolla house party.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers to that. Absolutely excellent. Did your drops do
So
that?
obviously, I'm gonna send you a nice picture with all the
Yes,
recipes.
please. I'm waiting for that.
Right, Daniel. So what else are we going to make over in Miami?
Well, I think first of all, I got to say that looks absolutely delicious. I love the.
Thank you. I love your Bloody Maria as well. I love tequila, so.
Thank you. Yeah, just
Bloody Maria.
the onion skin. I just think is such a gorgeous idea. And Paolo, to add the olive oil or the onion skin reduced, it gives another little silky layer on top. It gives it beautiful mouthfeel and some nice aromatics as well. So beautiful. I'm gonna probably take Gianfranco's lead and stick with martinis. I think normally people think martinis are a very sort of sophisticated cocktail. Obviously, normally we drink them earlier on in the night. It's not so sophisticated. You tend to drink martinis when you're going to go out and tear it up. You know, martinis are for troublemakers. So if you think
Martinis is for out.
Yeah. Martinis is for out. When you're going to go out and start some trouble, you want to start with martinis. So there's lots of riffs on the martini. Normally, if you're waiting for a friend or you want to have a few drinks that night, you probably want to start out with maybe something like a 50-50. So how it works is equal parts vermouth, equal parts gin. So the vermouth is much lower in ABV, alcohol by volume. So it means you can drink more without getting too smashed up. If you're a professional like I am, you tend to drink martinis 4-to-1, 4 parts gin to 1 part vermouth. So I think it's a great tip from Gianfranco. The first thing you want to do is you want to chill down your martini glass. And it's super simple.
Well done.
I'm here in Miami. We're under quarantine, so I have pretty awful ice, but it's doing the job. It's chilling down my martini glass. I'm then going to start with about 15 ml or half an ounce of a lovely dry vermouth. So a vermouth is an aromatized wine. So when you open your vermouth at home, most people tend to open it and then leave it out. It's going to oxidize over time because it's a wine. You want to screw it back up and then put it back in the refrigerator. Keep it nice and cold. So I'm going to start with about 15 ml. I'm going to add some ice in and I'm going to do a classic gin martini. So as I said before, you could do a 50-50, which is equal parts vermouth, equal parts gin. It lowers the ABV. It means you can have maybe 2 or 3. Or you can go into a classic 4-to-1, 1 part vermouth. So why vermouth? This aromatized wine, it bridges and rounds out all of the flavors. It really makes the drink very approachable, as opposed to just drinking a total base spirit like cold gin by itself. So it opens up all of the flavors of the botanicals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my strainer, my gin, my vermouth. I've been chilling my glass. Thank you, Gianfranco, for the tip. I've got a beautiful glass. I chill it down now. Oh my God, that looks absolutely amazing. So I have a gorgeous, now garnish. A lot of times you can use the peel of a lemon. It has a lot of oils in it, and you spritz that over the top. So when you go to drink your martini, you get all of that lovely fresh lemon flavor. I personally have always been an olive fan. The oldest olive tree we looked at when we went on this olive pilgrimage was 3,000 years old on the island of Crete, and the tree still produces fruit. So if you think about it, that tree had olive wreath that we used for the early Olympics, and it was there in biblical times to represent something like peace. So an olive and that tree is connected to such amazing things like peace and victory. It's not some little orb that floats around in the bottom of your drink and contributes nothing. It actually links that martini, that classic cocktail, really back to the beginning of civilization. So we really, again, take a great deal of time in the details, the olives. Today, in honor of my friend Paolo and my oldest friend Aisha, I'm going to use a cipollina. Little tiny.
Beautiful.
Is that how you pronounce it, Philo? Is that how you pronounce it, cipollina?
Yes,
Cipollina.
Tropea cipollina.
Cipollina.
So normally when you add onions to a drink, it's called a Gibson. So, salud. Absolutely.
Salute.
Classic.
Absolutely
Cheers.
amazing. Amazing. Where are we all?
Wow.
That's
Perfect.
amazing. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Paolo has added some.
I'm not drinking. You're drinking as well. Okay.
Look,
Yeah,
Gianfranco.
I'm
Gianfranco,
sharing it.
Look.
So Paolo
Oh.
has added some of the
Beautiful.
dehydrated onions
Onion.
by Lady Tropea as a
Yes.
garnish to his cocktail.
Yes, and Gianfranco, this is another tip for you. That
What was
is
that?
glassa. You can
Glassa.
read properly.
Oh, yeah.
Is a glassa.
Beautiful. That's amazing.
Anyway, it's just like pretty much like the balsamic,
But from
but
onions.
with the onion.
This one is made by Lady
Lady
Tropea, yeah?
Yeah.
The guy today used, the chef used today, I saw it. The melassa, yeah.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. I think for the drink, that one is amazing, yeah.
Yes.
So make a drink.
Good. We are all filthy.
We are all filthy. We're all going to be totally smashed. But I want to say a massive cheers, a massive thank you to you guys.
Oh,
that
thank
was
you to you.
great. And I really love the story. I know we're celebrating the onions, but I really do love the stories about the olives, Daniel, because I'd never really thought of that. Victory and peace when you're having an olive, that it's actually quite symbolic is really, really nice.
Yeah, olive is something that's really part of our tradition, our story. So, and combined with all these ingredients as well, it's very nice. So, se posso dire una cosa soltanto veloce in italiano, velocemente. Sorry, Daniel. I'm going to speak in Italian because it's quite.
We can translate.
First of all, vi voglio ringraziare tantissimo per l'invito. È stato veramente per me un piacere. Come dicevo prima, questo cocktail che ho fatto 6-7 anni fa mi ha dato l'inizio per cominciare questo progetto qua che si chiama Barionio, che è raccontare la Calabria attraverso i cocktail. Quindi voi mi avete dato l'opportunità stasera di raccontare nuovamente la Calabria attraverso questo cocktail, fatto tutto da ingredienti calabresi. Quello che avete fatto voi, questo festival, è magnifico. Io già sapevo dell'anno scorso quando l'avete fatto. Questa versione qui è stata ancora più bella perché avete unito ancora di più, secondo me, con questo sistema insomma, che avete creato. Non avete parlato solo di cipolla. La cipolla è stato l'elemento che ha fatto da perno, no? Il comune denominatore di tutto. Si è parlato di cultura, avete portato arte, musica. Cioè è stato veramente una cosa che soltanto delle persone come voi, che comunque vivono anche un po' fuori, no? Internazionali, hanno saputo portare. Questo fa soltanto del bene alla Calabria. Si è parlato di unione, insomma, di portare avanti la nostra regione con i nostri prodotti. C'è tanto da fare. Oggi abbiamo avuto ancora nuovi esempi con gli chef che hanno portato delle ricette bellissime, Benvenuto e tante altre persone. Quindi vi ringrazio tantissimo per avermi fatto partecipe di questa bellissima esperienza. Quindi thank you very much.
Grazie.
Hopefully, waiting for you at the Amaranto Bar when it's going to be open. Definitely, we're going to have a nice porcino drink together and onions, of course. Tropea, cipolla, and magari ci rivediamo a Tropea, chissà.
Sì.
Of course, absolutely. When we finish this, I'm sure we will go around Miami, Tropea, Chicago, Palermo,
all around the world,
Definitely.
celebrating Calabrian excellence. Thank you so much. Really amazing.
Everywhere.
Thank you. We spread the love. Thank you.
Okay, so just want to say, next up, she's going to be in a couple of minutes. We just want to set up the technicals.
Yes, Estelle.
But it is Estelle Rubio. She was live last year in the Piazza del Cannone, playing with the Tramonte in the background,
with the Stromboli
Island, and it was so incredibly beautiful. We don't quite have that view. She's going to be at home in her studio in London, but her
But
music,
we can think. We can
her
think.
music is absolutely equally as beautiful. So make sure that you come back and watch Estelle's performance. Thank you so
Ciao,
much.
Daniel. Ciao,
Ciao,
Gianfranco.
tutti.
Send my
Ciao.
love.
Thank you.
Bye,
Grazie,
guys.
grazie.
Grazie mille. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao Daniel.